Welcome, everyone, to today's episode of Romance Book Monsters. It's your girl, Lollipop, with my co-host, Kitty Boom.
Hello.
And today we are doing a real quick novella, Meet Me in Thailand. Because, you know, as with everything going on, I'm all about meet me somewhere that is not here. I am ready to see the world. I'm tired of being stuck. Hopefully this is going to kick off more great travel stories to come. But not only that, it was a quick little read by a new author that I happened to find and suggested that we review today. So Meet Me in Thailand is by Kaylee. It is fairly shorter than I thought it was originally, but I still thought it was a pretty decent read. So we have Alicia, who is an international event planner that was hired to plan a wedding, an arranged marriage. So she also helped choose the bride with the mother, as this was an arranged marriage. So obviously was bride's family and the groom's family did all the picketings, I guess you could say, all the meetings, and decided that they would work together very well. We have the potential groom, who is Annan, and please forgive me if I'm butchering this name. And he owns a winery and also comes from a wealthy family. So Annan is born in Thailand of a Thai mother and a Chinese father. So very wealthy family, but he has a business of his own that is expanding rapidly globally. So he's a very, very busy entrepreneur running his own company at 35, and since he has not been able to find a bride, he was okay with his parents picking one for him. He was still a little bit saddened that he wasn't able to find the right woman himself. So because, you know, he's an only child and time is running out, at least in their mind and in their culture, that it was time for him to get married. So he meets his wedding planner when she accidentally gets into his car thinking it was a taxi or the car service that she hired, because his mom wanted him to get to a fitting. So he rented a car instead of waiting for his normal driver. And then he got lost in the airport. How many of us have gotten lost in the airport?
Wrong lane.
Wrong. She was like, "You're in the taxi lane." He was like, "Oops, but I'll drop you off. You're on my way." So he drops her off at the hotel, introduced himself. So now she knows that she got into the man's car that she was planning his wedding. So that was their first meeting. So to kick this off, it's, as I said, it's a very short read. I would call it a sweet romance. There's not really much of a spice to it. Obviously, plot point of this, as it's an arranged marriage, but he's arranged to be married to somebody else. We have the wedding planner meeting the groom, sparks flying. Obviously, they're not doing anything about it, but they are getting to know each other in the final days before his wedding. It's the day of the rehearsal dinner, and the bride doesn't show up. The bride's family also doesn't show up. So to me, I'm thinking the family knew what was on, because why did they not show up? They should have been surprised as well.
Right. At first, I thought maybe they were some scammers and they had gotten some money, like a dowry or something, and they were all checking out. But that was not the case.
Right, Kitty. That which was very strange to me. So I thought that. I mean, I can definitely picture a bride running off with her bridesmaid because, you know, she was always she was lesbian and hid it from her family. And it wasn't until she was about to be married to a man that she ran off.
They'd wait very late in the game to let her intentions be known.
And then to be so bogus as to just send an email.
Well, I guess at least she did that. She should have told them before they spent all that money.
Right. Like, there's a lot of money. And not only that, I mean, obviously with his father being of Chinese descent, face and appearance and all of that stuff is really important to them.
Right? Because he thought he was going to be shunned for something he had no control over.
He thought he was going to be shunned from the family. Not from his mom's side, but his dad's side.
Right.
He was like, my uncle's never going to invite me to anything ever again.
What
But
is all her fault?
right, but
But I
again,
mean, we see it in real life when people like don't show up on the wedding day.
but the other people's family is still there because they were shocked too. So I'm like, how is her family not there? So maybe they really might have been some scam artists or something and we just didn't know about it. Or they knew about it in advance, but just didn't say nothing. They didn't warn them, which I think was really bogus.
Yeah.
Because they knew with enough time not to go. And he found out that morning. You could have told him a week before, a month before, but the day of the rehearsal dinner, the day before the wedding. So obviously this is where the wedding planner was like, well,
because they even paid for her dress.
She wasn't there for her fit in, nothing. The wedding planner had to substitute because they had a similar body type, just the height was different based on measurements.
Like gotten an inkling that something was wrong.
Right. And I think that's when because if I recall correctly, the wedding planner had started to get concerned about that time too. Because remember, she had just been hired the month before.
Mm-hmm.
So this was a quick turnaround situation.
Right, especially since she helped find the bride. So yeah, the bride had been found less than a month before.
So then it's like, well, what's the rush on this wedding? Like, you just found the bride. Can we give it a little bit more than a month before the actual wedding? Like, there was a sense of urgency.
I was trying to hide a potential pregnancy or rush it like that, but that wasn't the case.
Right. Because she was a lesbian. So there was as far as we know, she could have been bisexual. So there could have been a pregnancy to hide. We don't know. But as far as we know, she was not pregnant by somebody else. So it was actually really interesting how everything went down. Like when he was like, when Alicia was like, have you heard from the bride? Because she hasn't responded to any of my messages. And he's like, oh, I think I saw an email. Let me read it. And then he's like, man, I wish I had read this morning instead of waiting till now. Well, that's your own fault. How did you not read that?
I'm guilty of that. I'm so guilty of that.
Yeah, but you're not marrying that person.
That's true.
So one would think that you would have checked the email when you saw it. Because at least he could have, avoided the situation. He was actually pretty lucky that the wedding planner was like, well, let me go ahead and save this. Because me and him have gotten close and we got real friendly. I know that this is going to be devastating to him. She was attracted, let's be real, she was attracted to him. He rich. His family rich. She won't go. She being married to him for a hot second to let him save face, he was going to offer her a paycheck. She probably wasn't thinking that.
This big commission. She was like, I need the commission.
I know that's right. The commission for this is huge. She's like, nah, there's going to be a wedding. I need the commission and the referrals. Let's not forget the referrals.
It was so short. We couldn't even see, like, what did she tell her bosses when it was, like, time to get paid, time to let them know details about the job.
Doesn't matter.
Yes.
Got that check.
To me, it does.
She probably quit.
I mean, I understand it was a quickie, but I could have, I would have liked a few more details.
Oh, I understand that. But there was enough for me to fill in the blanks in my head. Like, I came up with different ideas of what happened. Because then, they went off on their little honeymoon to the little private villa island situation.
And nobody cared. Nobody cared that, that she was like the new bride. Which is just crazy since they had all these supposed business deals that they were all supposed to do together.
Did they?
Yes. That's one of the reasons why he was like, oh, my family's going to shun me because, contracts are in place to do business together and whatnot. So, what happened to these contracts?
Oh, they got null and voided. He just had to get married.
And I saw, and his family obviously felt the same way. Like, we don't care who she is. As long as
he's married.
His mama didn't care at all.
Well, his mama liked her, though. So I guess that was. And what did she say? As long as his mom was okay with it, the father would be okay with it. If his mom had put up a stank, then there might have been a bigger issue. So I don't think it's that big of a deal. But yeah, definitely this book was interesting. I definitely wish it was longer because she could have went some real interesting ways with this. But I get it. She was probably aiming for a quick read, wanted to wrap it up within a certain amount of pages. So as I said, this is the first time I've ever read this author. Definitely see promise. So we'll see if she writes longer books.
She could definitely be one of those authors that are good for like lunchtime reads, like something you could probably read on your lunchtime and finish.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or,
that
you
could
know,
be.
if you're on public transportation, or if you're waiting for your kid to finish something, you can have a nice quick read. I mean, I didn't really see a ton of typos or anything like that. So for a self-published book, I thought the editing was fairly good. There wasn't anything that was egregious or pulled me out of the book.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always happy to see those in these more independent authors. I think it's really important for all of us to try different indie authors because we might come across some gems. And that's how we found a lot of authors, is just giving books a chance. And since this
Right.
book was Kindle Unlimited, if you have a Kindle Unlimited subscription already, give it a shot. You might really like it. You might find that you like, mixing up a short read and with your longer reads, because sometimes you just don't want to read nothing long. You just want a little quick something.
That's true.
You don't want to get dived into a lot of drama. And let's be real. I love drama in a book. I love some nuances, but sometimes you just want a little sweet read, a little quick sweet read where you get to, go away. She did a great job describing, Thailand and the environment and Phuket. I was ready to book that trip. So, she had me. Meet me in Thailand. I'm ready to meet a fine, wealthy man in Thailand as well. How about you?
Let me know if he has a friend.
A friend, a cousin, an uncle, we don't know.
Right? Brother.
Bro, I'm telling you, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I heard the US dollar goes far in Thailand. So I'm like, I heard you can have a house, a maid, a cook for like $100. Well, maybe not that ridiculous, but not the house, but the maid and the cook for like $100 a month. Like, I'm ready.
Okay, you're gonna have me looking this up once we're done.
I'm telling you, the dollar goes far in some places. But yeah, so, taking out the fact that it's a novella, obviously we have questions. I definitely give this read a 3.5 for sure. It made me want more. And if an author can make me want more, they've succeeded. They've succeeded. Actually, I'll probably edge it towards more of that 4. More of that 4. Because I was like, I need more pages. And not in a bad way.
Like, I give it a 4 too. And, it's almost, I don't know, it's a little ridiculous that I give it a 4 because it was such a short book when it was a quickie book.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of, bad to like punish it for being what it was.
Right. Well, I agree too. That's why I was like, you know what? Nah, it's not a 3.5. It's a 4. It's definitely a 4. I agree. Yeah. And I think this is definitely a promising author. I look forward. I know that this is part of a trilogy of quickies. So I'm looking forward to seeing more from her. I'll probably still read the quickies. Definitely beyond the... Oh, shoot. Definitely. Yeah, as I said, I would definitely recommend this book. I thought it was a great read. Kitty Boom and I both gave it 4.0s. So definitely go check it out. You're looking for a quick read, something short, sweet. You're not going to have to take multiple nights to read, especially if you only have a little time to yourself because of your busy schedule and you want to actually accomplish finishing a book within a night or two. If you only have like a little 30 minutes each time, this book is definitely for you. Any additional thoughts, Kitty Boom?
No, I think you said it all. It was a good read, and it's definitely good for that instant gratification read.
It's a happily ever after, so that always makes it happy. So thank you guys for spending some time with us today on Romance Book Monsters, Lollipop and Kitty Booms. We'll talk to you soon. Oh, and don't forget, like and subscribe. Comment below. Do you love short, quick reads, or are you more of a lengthy book reader? Do you prefer those longer books? Let us know in the comments. Talk to you soon. Bye.
See you later.